What is up, everybody? Welcome to the ASL. This is the final group for the round of 24. And after this, we move on to the group selection and the round of 16.
That's right. I cannot wait. Of course, we'll have a group selection video that gets translated for next week. There will be no ASL next week after this group. But it's exciting to see who's going to get through today, because I think this is maybe the most dangerous group that we have. We have three players that are absolutely at least top 8 quality in Queen, Jaedong, and Best. And then we have a Terran player, Leta, where if he makes it through, there is a problem. Like, as much as people like Leta and as fun as he is, he does not belong making the round of 16 out of a group like this.
It's very important to see who advances here. It's been a very, very Terran-heavy ASL. This happens sometimes. But we have, extremely strong players here from the other races that are represented that could go very deep or even win this entire season. So it's a very important group for the non-Terran race to see kind of what trajectory this tournament's going to be on here. As you can see, we only have 2 Zerg players in the round of 16, which is insane, by the way, for how many great Zerg players there are in the universe of competitive StarCraft.
Yeah.
And then we've got 3 top-tier Protoss players, and Tulbo, no disrespect to Tulbo, by the way, but he did win in an upset. It was even a little bit surprising that he got into ASL Season 21 to begin with. And then we just have a plethora of fantastic Terran players. Although I imagine the further this tournament goes on, the less of them are going to be with us.
Yeah. I think we have about three really strong Terrans in there, maybe 4. Looking at the group so far, like, there's obviously been a lot of upsets. Tulbo over Shine and Larvas, that's where one of our Zergs fell. Soulkey falling to Ample, that's where another one of our big Zergs fell, right? So realistically, like, without the crazy upsets, we should have probably 2 more Zergs and 1 less Protoss and 1 less Terran. But yeah, these upsets do happen from time to time. Of course, the biggest upset might have even been Oregon making it through. Like, that was insane yesterday, Tastosis, to watch Oregon, one of our older players. He's like, he was born in 1988, I think. I'm not sure exactly where everyone was born, but like, definitely an older player, someone that we didn't really expect to make it through, and he did a great job.
Yeah, it was exciting to see him perform well. We've had some pretty cool upsets here. Excuse me, some pretty cool upsets here in the round of 24 so far. And of course, I think the biggest thing about this season of ASL is that Flash is back, looking extremely strong, and could possibly take the whole thing.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance that we saw just how ridiculous he was yesterday. It's like the guy just doesn't let up. I'm actually kind of excited for the group selection, because I'm not always excited about that, because it's kind of like obvious. It's like, oh, this season, yeah, Light will be chosen last, or Best will be chosen last, right? Something like that. But here it's like, okay, Flash will be chosen last, and who is Soma going to move around in that group stage? What group is going to be crazy? Anyways, interview.
Hello and welcome to Group F of the round of 24 here at ASL Season 21, done in partnership with Google Play. A round of 24 that's been harder to predict than ever, and we're already at a point where only 2 spots are left up for grabs in the round of 16. Let's have a word with our 4 players and find out what's on their minds as they vie for these last 2 spots. Hello. Hello. First up, let's say hi to Best, making it through as the winner of the first day of the open season, with a perfect attendance score in the ASL High. Hi. You score a win in the very first open season ever held as you arrive safely in the tournament proper. I bet that you got warmed up sufficiently. How's your form? I'm in decent shape, but there's a lot of strong players in this group, so things probably won't be easy. The group aside, all the Protoss players who qualified have made it through to the round of 16 so far, which For the fans, clearly means that you likewise simply have to live up to that expectation and fill another spot as a Protoss player. Right. This time, Tolbo also advanced to the round of 16. It would be a shame if he made it in and I couldn't, so I'll make sure to make it through. And we have Leta sitting right next to Best ahead of their first match. Hi. Hi, good to be here. As I was talking to Best, I saw your face stiffening. I bet your mind is on the upcoming match. How are you feeling right now? It's been a while since I've been here. I'm trembling a little. But I gained hope seeing Piano advancing yesterday. Piano must have given a lot of players courage. Just as you said, it's been 5 seasons since you last qualified. Seeing how you beat this strong Zerg in action to advance, with there being 2 Zergs in this group, I can't help but look forward to seeing you in your improved form. To be honest, with the practice I put in, I do feel confident. I have confidence, and I came here with a mindset to advance with 2 straight wins. Leta is dreaming of another upset. Let's now say hi to Queen, our tier 2 player getting ready to play here. Hi. Hi. Queen, I bet you've been paying close attention to this round of 24. There's been a lot of upsets, and your first match will be against this tough Zerg and Jaedong. It's a best of 1 with a lot up in the air. I'm sure you have a lot on your mind right now. That's correct. And this is a tough group all in all. It's made up of really good players. Up until yesterday, each group had like 1 outlier, but today everyone is fierce. So I'm not putting myself under too much pressure today. If we talk a little about the winner prediction survey going on at the SOOP website right now, 42% of people are expecting Best to advance in first, Jaedong got 30%, and you, Queen, got 22%. And for second place, you've been given 25%. It's becoming clear that the fans are expecting these opponents to make it difficult for you to stay alive. You gotta cause an uproar. I came here thinking I would advance, but if you add up the 3 of us, that's almost 100%. I do think it'll be 2 out of the 3. I'll try and do my best. Right off the bat, Queen is trying to pull off some mind games to throw his opponents off. Let's also talk to Jaedong. Hi. Hi. Looking at your facial expression, I'm sure all you've got on your mind right now are the matches that await. What's your condition like? I'm in really good shape. I want to play straight away. You've been in really good shape online recently, so despite this Group F being dubbed the Group of Death, a lot of people are saying this is very doable for you. What do you think personally? If I advance, I'll end up running into tough opponents anyway, so I came with my mind at ease, because if I fail here, well, this is just the level I'm at as a player. Jaedong is focusing on himself rather than the group as he prepares to show what he's got. There's more matches to look forward to in this Group F other than the first and second opening games. When it comes to Best and Queen, they've ran into each other a lot in the ASL. While Queen leads head-to-head with an 11-6 score, looking at your most recent extended series, it's Best who can be happy. If you guys end up playing today, I wonder what you think of one another. Best, what do you think it'll be like? I think it's a 50-50 if we do end up meeting. But if we do, I would like for it to be in the decider match, because when it gets to the end, Queen can't play well, so I want to meet him at the end. An answer befitting Best to beat Queen with a 4-3 in the round of 8 back in Season 19. Queen, what do you have to say? Best says towards the end, you don't play well. Yeah. That's why I'd like to meet him in the winners or losers match. The round of 8 this season changed back to best of 5. If that had been the case back then, I would have been the winner. What a shame. Can't wait to see if you manage to get payback for this pain this season. Another potentially interesting match here would be if Leta and Jaedong played against each other. Jaedong is in great shape against Terran, and Leta has defeated cream of the crop Zergs to advance. Should we hear what you guys think of one another? Jaedong, what do you think? I Don't remember ever losing to him during the Kesper days. If we were to meet today, I don't think I would lose. Jaedong only remembers ever scoring wins against Leta during their full-time pro gaming days. What do you say, Leta? This is what I like to say. Those caught up in the past are as good as dead. What strong wording! Truly befitting Leta with his determination to take 2 clean wins. I'm ever so excited for this one, given how determined everyone is. Let's close things out with their final remarks. Leta, I'll show you what ruckus a tier 4 player can make. Can't wait. Best? Today's group feels like a round of 16 group, and I prepared just as so. I'll advance. Looking forward to it. Queen, I'll do well and make sure to advance today. Good. Jaedong? I too will advance. Got it. Looking forward to great games from the 4 of you. Thanks for the interview. Thank you. Only Group F remains in the round of 24 here at ASL Season 21, done in partnership with Google Play. Who will manage to grab the last 2 spots in the round of 16? It's time to start the matches in Group F.
All right, we're ready to get into this these 5 games, excuse me. Best, Queen, Jaedong, and Leta. You can see Best here in Tier 1. Not too shocking. You know, Best has really, especially as of late, performed very well, looking very tournament viable. Queen for a while was on top of the world, in ASL specifically. But that was a while ago. That was back when Tastosis was in Korea, like many years ago, while you were still in Korea, Tastosis. And then if you go all the way back, we're talking like 2008, 2009. That's when Jaedong really ruled the world. Although I will say, I think Jaedong has a lot better of a chance of going deep in this tournament than pretty much any other ASL I can think of.
Yeah, he's crushing in Pro League, like absolutely crushing. He's had one of the highest win rates in. Well, he has literally right now the highest win rate in Pro League, which is something that all the Korean streamers put together, where he's just crushing everybody else. He has like an 85% win rate. He's been killing in KCM Race Survival Series as well. He got multiple all kills this year. Like he's just in phenomenal shape. It's not a joke. He is one of the very best Zergs in the world right now. He might be the best Zerg in the world right now.
Yeah, he's looking extremely strong here. I was looking at this and I was like, who is that? You were talking to Tastosis and I was so confused about what was going on. I don't know. That must be some kind of a joke there. I don't know what the story is, but anyways, we're gonna have Best playing first.
Like, I wasn't really paying attention to the interview, but did Leta get massive plastic surgery? What's going on here?
I was like, man, the plastic surgery in Korea is good.
Yeah. So looking at this first match, you know, Best is one of the strongest Protoss vs. Terran players out there. And on the Terran side of things, oh, Jesus. On the Terran side, she has about as much of a chance against Best as Leta does, honestly, is where I was going with this.
Oh, don't miss the high five. What are we doing?
Oh, cringing.
Oh, it's a sign
faceless.
of what's to come.
Oh, my
the
God.
burn is real. There is nothing more painful than a failed high five.
Don't I know it?
Oh, man.
So, like, look, Leta actually has worked on his macro play some. He's historically been one of the weakest macro Terrans. Really, his whole game is about finesse. He's kind of cheesy. He's very micro-based player, which doesn't work for Terran very well. But there are obviously some players rise no matter what the style is that they utilize. Anyways, like, if you can't macro like a god against Best, you have to deal an unbelievable amount of damage early on. Leta will cheese. He will cheese Best here. He will be going either for, like, he's going all in, okay? And he has to probably kill a lot of probes to have any chance to beat Best. So Best just has to watch out for that.
Yeah, this is all going to be about the early game, I think. The Best is, very, very strong, and it has a very, I don't mean this in a bad way, a very basic approach a lot of times to PvT. You know what I mean? He kind of just macros up, gets a read on what you're doing, and smashes you. But Leta, I mean, he could 2-factory. There's a lot of cheeses actually for Terran if they want. I don't think Best is going to go for Nexus first. We'll see if I'm wrong about that, but I think, there is a possibility for Leta to go like double racks and try to cheese him out. Anyways, guys, we're going to go to Octagon here for game 1, Best versus Leta. Okay, cross spawns here with Best in the top right and Leta in the bottom left. Real quick, guys, consider signing up for the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL English. We want to keep doing this forever, and we're so glad that we will be able to keep doing it forever because of support like yours. But if we haven't earned your support yet, we hope we do in this cast. Consider signing up for a tier that makes sense to you.
Yeah, and thank you everyone who has signed up. If you do sign up, you do get the Tastosis Secret Podcast before every episode. And Tastosis has gone to great lengths to improve the podcast this year. So, it's definitely going better than it was before. And we're not going to say any more than that because it's a secret. Anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Well, we won't say. So, in this game, Leta, to what you were saying, Artosis, I think you're 100% right. I mean, we'll see if he does anything one base wise, but you could always do, super fast timing pushes off of 2 bases. I don't know what Leta's going to do, but I mean, in my head, I feel like you really got to try to end the game immediately. And by the way, Best is not going to go for Nexus first.
Yeah, I think you want to take volatility out as much as you can. Like, he should realistically go like maybe 3-gate observer and just like take bases at a normal pace. Because there's only a couple areas where Leta is going to be dangerous. Like something like a Vulture Drop could be dangerous. Something like a 2-factory could be dangerous. And then just the kind of standard 5 or 6 fact all in. Because if we go to a game where Leta gets... First off, if we ever got to a game where Leta has to take 4 bases, it's already over. Like, he cannot keep up with Best in that regard. Like, very few people can. Best can bust Light sometimes. And you can't get more units than Light. Nobody can. Like, that's all there is to it. So, like, Leta being probably mechanically even weaker than Organ, he's going to have to really rely on his superpower, which is his micro. It's funny, by the way, how that works amongst the races. Like, there's people that specialize in every way, right? Like, you could be an optimizer, you could be a macro player, you could be a strategic player, you could be a micro player, right? Like, there's all sorts of... You could be a tactical player, even. And, like, I feel like all of them work for every race, except micro doesn't really work for Terran. Like, Leta is the only really micro-based Terran player that we have. And it just like, he gets an ASL sometimes, but it's just not that strong, Like, it kind of works against Zerg, and the other 2 matchups, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we should point out that Leta has actually been around, a little bit like Organ, actually, has been around for a long time. Leta's an OG. And was mostly known for doing a lot of these kind of weird 2-port Wraith builds. That, he did for much longer than I thought he would ever continue to do. But he's had his own kind of play style. He's always been somewhat viable. I mean, the reality is, if you can ever qualify for ASL, which almost nobody in the whole world can, despite how many there's so many great StarCraft 1 players. The quality of players on the StarCraft 1 ladder in Korea is insane. The fact that he can go this deep is wild.
No, totally. Like, I have a hard time sometimes when I'm explaining it, because there's like so many tiers of players. Like, the guy can make it an ASL. This is not his first ASL. This probably won't be his last ASL. But it's so hard for him to make it. First off, he doesn't make it into even 50% of them, I think. And then when he's in them, like, round of 16 feels like out of reach. Like, this is right around the limit of what it seems like he can achieve by sneakiness and micromanaging units very well.
Yeah, when it comes to the StarCraft ladder, I was actually talking to some StarCraft 2 pros, and Gypsy, who is in Korea as well. But they were talking about just the quality of player in the StarCraft 1 ladder. There's really no other RTS game that compares to that. Like, there's just so many good people out there. So, even when we have somebody like Leta who's very likely to lose, in this game, in this group. You gotta point out, like, he is so god tier for how, you know, saturated this game is with just incredibly talented players.
Yeah.
By the way, in this game, this is a really interesting move. He's gonna go plant some mines out here and basically go for a vulture drop. So this will be one base. It's with a set of mines on the outside. And, you know, this is super cheesy. This can really mess a Protoss up if they're not ready for it. There's basically no way to stop yourself from losing some probes. You have to take this one on the chin, so to speak, and just fight back and keep macroing and recover. But we got to see how many probes are killed first before we really know where this is going to be at.
Yeah, and he is going, Best is going for a 3-gate observer, like I was talking about. Like, that's kind of like the safest build. This has to do a lot of damage, and I think that it will. Best has zero idea that this is happening. Okay, he's going to see it now. I thought the Marines would push at the same moment, and he's actually going to lay mines. Oh my God, Tasteless, this is bad for Best. Oh, he's running the probes. Oh, this is rough. This is already a lot of damage.
Yeah, they're going to retreat, and I don't know how many he got. There's going to be a small push up here on the front. You know, he might have wanted to wait, honestly, until the observer was out and the Dragoons were trying to clear this, just because the Dragoons are stuck there for now, right? And like I was saying earlier, I mean, you have to take this one on the chin, right? You can't really do a whole lot about this. He's going to save every single vulture. Take that, Flash, from yesterday.
Yes, take that, Flash.
Take that, Flash, you bum.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose a single one.
So it was a good amount of probe kills, but the Nexus is so much faster here that I think Best is still completely fine. He's got 4 production structures compared to basically 1. You don't really consider the starport a production structure here because you don't make anything else out of it. So, like, Leta's in kind of a tough spot, but, like, there's actually some flexibility because he has the dropship, he still has those 4 vultures, and he's adding 2 factories right now, which is actually the most aggressive way you can follow up a build like this, is get like 3 factories out and just kind of run around everywhere with the vultures. So let's see what he can get done. Another drop here in the natural now.
Yeah, the drop comes in, and it just takes 2 vultures to one-shot a probe. He is getting kills, but I worry he has not overall gotten enough. If you look at the supply here, it's 60 to 46. Obviously, Leta has a second base up, but the third Nexus just now starts. And, you know, there's a reason why you don't see this that often in pro play. You can absolutely rug pull a Protoss who's not ready on the ladder with this. Like, it's pretty scary. If their reaction times aren't perfect, they can lose so much. It's really tough to recover. But Best is basically playing a very clean game. It's been bumpy, but he's navigating it very well. And usually when you go for the drop play like this is Terran, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Artosis, but from everything that I've seen, you do the drop. It can be before the expansion or after, but generally the follow-up is always to do a 2-base push.
Yeah, it can actually go either way nowadays. I think that used to always be like kind of the decision tree, but because your factories are a bit later, I actually feel like we've seen a little bit of a shift. And I definitely, I know in my own play, if I do a drop like this, I'll follow it up actually with a 3rd base into a slightly later push. But yeah, it's just like your factories are so much later due to the starport and the dropship that it's sometimes hard. It kind of matters on how many probes you end up getting. And I don't, like, he's probably going to follow it up, but it seems like the margin for winning off of a 2-base push here is super low, right? So to put this into perspective, if you're going to hit a strong 2-base push, your factory additions come up at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. That's when you start your factories, your final factories, basically. We're right now approaching 9 minutes, and he's only on 3 factories. So he would, in a normal push, he would already have a whole round of units off of 3 more factories. Plus, he's sacrificed many vultures at this point. So the actual unit count he's going to have is probably not sufficient to kill with a push. This is why, like, dropships can mess up those timings. And he's probably going to have to go into a 3rd base, but we'll see.
We do have one Wraith out here that is specifically to take on shuttles and observers and anything like that. It can also be used to scout if you want to check for other bases on the map. And this is a game where Best is going for Reaver play. In my experience, and this isn't a rule, but I wonder if Best has the same mindset here. I generally find that games that have messy openers, you know, like a game where they went for a fast drop or they did a 2-factory, I usually find that the Reaver's kind of a comfortable way to play the game out after that, because you can kind of take scrappy fights. It's got a lot of different purposes, and it's usually a good way to go.
Yeah, I think the Reaver is always pretty strong, but people have been making a Wraith to kind of stop it as well after the drops. So, like, if you wanted to do something like go straight into Arbiter, I could understand that, or straight into, like, Psystorm, I could understand that. But Best is pretty darn good with Reavers, and they are highly useful. So he does have some of those, and he has multiple shuttles here starting to move across the map. He is up about 25-ish supply, and Leta is setting up that third base, which we should see. I like that. I'm glad that he's setting that up. Now, I think the one chance he has here is setting up like a 9-factory push as quickly as possible. Like, he should be trying to leave his base within 3 minutes. But I guess we'll see. You know, the game is at kind of a weird pace right now due to all the harassment that's happened and all the units that have been lost, and he's still a little bit low on factories with only 5.
I wonder if he saw the shuttle over those mines. Looks like he did, so he's going to have the double Wraith ready to go. So this is a pretty common way to pry open a 3-base, Terran, is to get one shuttle full of Zealots and the other full of Reavers. And you try to fly into the main, and as they go back to save it, you run up with your Dragoons and pounce on the third base. But looks like the shuttle with the Zealots was picked off, I think. I don't think that was the Reaver shuttle. And that's not the end of the world for Protoss, but it stops what he was planning. And, you know, Best is on 4 bases right now. So he's going to continue to grow, but basically a moment where this could have been a big crescendo of a move is gone away. And we're going to be back to macroing. By the way, it's been 3 gates up to 4 bases, which is really unusual. You just never really see that. Someone sitting on 3 gates and then going, all right, time for my 4th. But I think he's playing it pretty safely. I think when you get the Reaver, you can kind of play a tighter game and use the Shuttle Reaver to basically take a couple fights you would normally be able to take with just Dragoons on their own. And we're going to see a huge gate. In fact, we already are seeing a huge gateway explosion here on the mini map as he's filling that out with the extra minerals that are coming in. There it is. Wow.
Yeah, damn. That's crazy. He's adding like 8 gates right now. I like that, though, because, you know, when your opponent is like spending so many vultures harassing you, you can kind of like not worry about the push. It's just the push would be so weak at this point. But Leta is actually setting up a game that I didn't quite expect. Like, the dropship wasn't surprising. The amount of harassment hasn't been surprising, nor has the Wraiths actually shutting down that shuttle play, which was awesome. That was so good to see. That was the best move of the game so far. But he actually has his science facility and is getting 2-1 right now, which is not very common in the meta in general. So that is going to give him a stronger later portion of this game. And he is adding some factories. So I'm pretty excited about what we're seeing here from Leta. Like, this is some of his stronger macro play that I've seen, and it kind of fits into the style that he uses too.
We've casted so many games of Leta, and I got to say, I mean, he's playing great. He looks like an extremely strong player. I think Best is still steadily in the lead here. By the way, Best went for a pretty cautious endgame composition based off of where he went with the shuttle speed and the Reaver. He basically teched into that, is racing to max out, and behind it he's going to have 1 Robo with Templars. So he can basically make a lot of Templars, pick them up in shuttles, storm, and try to play keep away Protoss, basically.
Well, that is a style he's very good at. It's a very wide open map, and he macros so fast. So I definitely don't mind him just running around with giant armies. You can see how he's kind of splitting them right now. He'll probably poke the sides a little bit. And, of course, he is getting that 5th base set up, which is so important. Is Leta going to set up the 4th base? It looks like he's getting ready for it, Tasteless. And this is where I start to get a little bit nervous for him, because he's playing a great game. He's definitely improved his macro play a lot. In fact, those are some of my favorite YouTube coaching videos I've ever seen, is Light teaching Leta about later game macro in Terran vs. Protoss, because he's always kind of been weak at that. And like a few years ago, Light was helping him out with it, and I know he's been working on it. But like, It's hard to imagine Leta here landing this command center, playing the big macro game, and outdoing Best.
Ooh, nice job here with the Zealots driving this out. We did see a second Robo go down. And this is pretty modern, by the way. I remember when I saw people do this, I thought, like, is this for real? Is this the way the game's going to be played? But the idea is, after you have speed shuttles and Templars, you just get you have 2 Robos, you get a lot of observers, a lot of shuttles, and you're dropping and storming everywhere. You can be storming the army, you can be storming the workers, you can storm one vulture if you see it out there. I mean, you just storm everything, and just keep powering up into 3-3. It's a really good way to play. And, you know, it's a little bit contradictory to what we see with Best normally in a lot of his games. Because Best is famous for basically being a busting Terran. So he's been able to drive his army into positions better than basically anybody else in the whole world right now. But I think because this game was so scrappy and so tight early on, he didn't feel comfortable doing that. So he's going to go for a kind of a burnout style of play where you're storming the army, you're whittling them down, you're upgrading heavily yourself, and you're going to go into both of the mains here, the top left and eventually the bottom right.
We should mention no damage has been dealt to Leta yet this game. Now, this drop coming in, maybe he gets some, but like right now, the SCVs, there you go. Finally gets a storm on the SCVs, but actually doesn't even get that much. And this is just going to be held by Leta. Not a bad idea, that push, but Leta holds that pretty easily. Like, this is maybe the least damage I've seen a Protoss do to Terran in a 16-minute game like this. You know, normally you get, like, a little bit. You get the shuttles in, but he caught the first ones with the Wraiths. The defense of Leta has been godly here this game.
Yeah. You know, I don't think that this is losing for Best right now, but this is becoming a problem. You know, Terran on this 4th base, you're not going to break this. In fact, I can't even believe he's going to try to do this. He's going to come in here. He's going to try to blanket some storms down here. Actually, dude, that was pretty sick. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill anything because tanks take more than 1 storm to kill. So if he repairs that, I mean, that's a lot more lost. But, you know, here's the problem. Terran has 9 o'clock. Terran's going to take 6 o'clock. Now, if you get 6 o'clock and you secure that, you really can't kill any of the positions Terran in. Excuse me, Terran is in. And Terran on 5 bases, even though Protoss could take both the top left main and the bottom right main, dude, it's really hard to win. You basically never want to let them get onto 5 bases. The game has to go on for so long, especially if you're going to have them mine out before you can beat them. And we see games where, like, even people like Bisu get the whole map and they're against somebody. I think it was Light specifically that we saw him do this against. Light was on 5 bases and basically outlasted the Protoss on the entire map. So this is really bad for Best. The fact that he only just now is transferring probes up here, which is going to get punished by these vultures. The fact that the bottom right is vacant and there are no Protoss bases and no gateways there is really bad too. And I think for the first time in this game, I am going to say I think Leta can win this game and probably should win this game based off this position. He is playing much better than Best.
It's actually really amazing to see because, you know, I think my analysis of his style and his strengths historically was accurate, as accurate as I can be, because I've seen like a million Leta games. But this is literally the best macro game I've ever seen out of him. You're right. And we've been watching this guy since like 2007. So, I mean, he's been around forever. Now, Best coming in with these shuttles, but there's like no SCVs here even. And now Leta is finally doing a big push. Now, this is where things could go wrong if we get really great Psy Storms and everything is clumped up. But that army looks unbelievably good. +3, +1 upgrades.
Oh my God! What am I saying?
That's crazy. That was a bit of a flub there from Best. He really needed to pull those back and stall that army out a little bit from going into the main. He's going to lose this natural instantly, and now he could have had like 8 Dragoons in the main, like slowing it down, and now that is gone. I don't know that he can break that army up there, but can he counterattack? There's so many mines, so many turrets. What a difficult position here. So.
I mean, he's going to try to drop over here. Maybe this will work. You can treat the mass shuttles kind of like they're an arbiter and just unload stuff over here. But the problem is that, there's been basically no real tank kills most of this game. Which means the Terran army is insanely strong. A lot of times you're trying to whittle tanks down throughout the entirety of a PvT to try to win the game from there. And, first of all, the top left is going to fall. I don't think there's any universe where Protoss can save this, which is going to knock Best right now onto 4 functional bases. To latest 4 functional bases in a game where we're about to hit the 20-minute marker. So this is really bad. And this is an insane upset. I'm not saying it's over, but man, I think the writing's on the wall here. Best is doing, I think, the best job he can at this point in time in the game, but he kind of let this whole game get very out of hand, which is funny to say because I think Best has generally been one of the best players in the whole world at kind of taking the lead in the TVP or the PvT dance, so to speak. It basically kind of dictating how the matchup develops. But Leta has probably one of the easiest late games I've ever seen in a TVP right now.
Yeah.
Like, Protoss has less army. And remember, Leta's got a ton of bases. He can remake stuff. I don't even want to know how many tanks this guy has. He must have, 30 tanks or something.
He has a lot. Like the style he played, especially like you said, normally you whittle down tanks throughout the game, but Best basically never attacked. And Leta was vulture harassing the whole game. If you just consistently vulture harass, you're trading out vultures and you just keep on making rounds of vultures and tanks. And overall, your tank count goes up. That's like winning TVP. If you can play a game that looks like that, you feel fantastic as Terran when you're the one deciding to lose units and their vultures specifically. Wow, it really is the best game I've seen from Leta ever in this matchup. He has such a strong army. His upgrades are absolutely ridiculous. Now, to be fair, he's almost down to 1 mining base. Okay, he's got good bank. Everything looks really good for him right now. He definitely is ahead of Best. There is still comeback potential here for Best. Best is actually very good at comebacks. Even when he gets behind, he stays calm, and he tries to do the best he can with his units. And I've seen him come back from positions like this occasionally. But look at that tank count. That's stupid. This is like the most tanks I've ever seen in a TVP. No one ever gets that many.
The problem, too, is that, when you have this many tanks, you can basically snake them out through the entire map. A lot of times, let's say you have 10 tanks in your army, right? And then you've got all these vultures around it. Well, you can only go so far on the map. So the idea for the Protoss is between Templars and shuttles, you kind of sprinkle a few storms down, run away, and then wait for them to move a little bit further forward and then do it again. I think that right now he could actually... Well, hold on a second. Here we go. I don't have to think anymore. This is just happening. He's going to unload this over here. Zealots and Templars are coming down. Everything's unsieged. Remember, these are 3-2 tanks right now. And I think it's possible for Terran to maybe even hold this. Yeah, I was going to say, without even needing to get siege mode up here. Dude, notice that Best is at 121 supply, and Late is already spiking back up to 165. And this is the problem, is that when you don't have the other 2 mains, you can't refill your army anywhere near as fast.
If you don't have 5 bases as Protoss, it's really hard to remax. But you know what? Best just took 2 amazing engagements. He killed a lot of those siege tanks. He waited for the right moment. This is also, you can actually even tell by the player cam. Notice how Leta's is jiggling. He's got a lot of adrenaline right now. He's bouncing his knee or whatever. And Best is cool as a cucumber. Even though he's kind of screwed in this game, he waited, he saw the tanks on siege, and he immediately jumped on them and stormed the hell out of them. And even though Leta is absolutely still winning and I expect him to win, Best is doing everything in his power to try to come back here.
Well, let's talk about how Best could win this. All the other bases Leta has are going to mine out. Now, 6 o'clock is a pretty easy base to secure, but we will be in a game where, even though Best is in a pretty big deficit, it's just one base. Let's say he gets a crazy Psystorm drop-off on the 6 o'clock base. He's going to kill pretty much all the SCVs in the game. The problem, though, is that Best just doesn't have a big army. I don't think he even has a lot of probes either, by the way. His income is going up pretty slowly. It's been vulture punishes the entire game. So Best is going to come down here. This is a very narrow valley. It's really, you never really want to fight Terran, especially when they're turtled up in really narrow spaces like this. Even somebody like Best is going to have an almost impossible time trying to break into this. EMP onto the Archon. You know, it was like one of the first things you think about when you got StarCraft back, 28 years ago, but you never really saw it in a pro game. We've seen it here, everybody.
Yep, I love seeing it. It's just so, it's the grossest efficiency that there is, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fantastic. He's still defending everything really, really well. Best supply is so low. I feel like for Leta here, if he just adds a few turrets into the center of the map, first off, if he had done that before he lost that huge amount of tanks, where he lost like 10 tanks at least, probably actually even more than that, I think this game would already be over. But if he just adds a few missile turrets so the shuttles can't keep bombing him and just does a dedicated push to the right side of the map, I think that's just the winning move, and Best isn't going to be able to do anything from there.
I want to point out, when you can tell there's like an insane number of workers over a base like this one here is when the shadows are really dark, like as if the sun is shining really brightly over that expansion. And that's because there's so many SCVs stacked on top of each other. The only way you can truly tell is by looking at how dark the shadow is, because shadows do stack.
Yeah.
In StarCraft 1. Got another great EMP. I think that hit all 3 Templars.
I think it hit 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good correction. There's one that's still got a little bit of mana, but not enough to storm right now.
Yeah, it's still low.
And this should be an easy closer.
Yeah.
I with all due respect to Leta, I think a lot of other Terrans would have closed this out a little bit more clean, but I think he realizes he's in such a winning position. He's kind of approaching this very, very carefully as to not overextend and possibly screw this up. And I think we're going to see the very end of this game here. The 2 shuttles are shot down. The Templars are going to try their best to get the storms off, but when those storms are done, is there actually enough to fight this? I don't think so.
This has been really a magnificent game from Leta. This has been one of the strongest TVPs that we've seen. Like, just straight up. The fundamentals of it, the way that he's played it. Like, the fact that this opened with 1 base starport and, Best took 3 bases off 3 gates. It's like, wow, he got this game into this position. The guy took so many bases. I never thought he'd be able to win a big macro game like this. But Best was a little bit timid this game too, right? Like, he normally does a lot more attacking. He normally tries to bust Terran a lot, but it seems like Leta's defense really turned him off.
Okay, we've got a big push coming through here, and there's just not going to be enough. I can't believe the Best. That is, how insane of an upset is this?
That's
Tastosis?
an insane upset.
This is, to me, this was unthinkable.
Yeah. And that was a straight up macro game after the drops. Like, Leta played so well. He played so well there.
He really did. And I don't know what to say other than congrats to him. I mean, he totally delivered here. The best game I've seen of Leta, and we've been watching this guy for 2 decades. In a really tough group. I mean, one of the toughest groups he'll ever play in his career.
Yeah.
And he started out with maybe like a 5% lead, carried that to 10. Eventually, Best, it was his turn. He tried to make some moves. Leta shut him down. Suddenly, Best isn't growing fast enough. Next thing you know, the pushes are coming out, and Leta has some ungodly amount of tanks. Best is getting shut down here and there, and the result is Leta takes the game. To change things up, we're going to go to probably a much shorter game. It's going to be Queen versus Jaedong coming up next.
Let's take it up a notch. Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch. 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 Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch. 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 Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch. Running out the clock. I shoot my shot. I cannot be stopped. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it up a notch.
We're back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. On to a ZBZ Artosis.
Yeah, and the CBZ should be really, really good. Obviously, Jaedong is historically the greatest Zerg vs. Zerg player ever to have lived. But Queen has really excellent micro, decision-making tactics, all that stuff. So I think it's just like a close, good match.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I'm also, I think I've talked about this in previous ASLs, but I've always wondered, is Queen going to come back in the way that he was before in previous ASLs? Because there was a period where it looked like this guy could usurp Flash.
Yeah, I feel like for the last couple seasons, he's been back in top form, but ASL is just harder now. Because he definitely fell off a little bit after his 2 victories and didn't play as well, and his games didn't look as good. But like, if you look at his games outside of ASL, like if you watch his Pro League games and his KCM games and all that, he looks really good again. Like, in my opinion, he's very strong. He's had some really good series too. Like, remember, when Best made it to the finals against Solki, Queen almost eliminated him. It was like 3-2 for best, super close series. So, like, he's been in really good shape, again, for at least the last year and a half or so. So, or maybe it's 2 years now, but God, time flies with StarCraft. It's so weird trying to actually figure out when these things happened. But yeah, I think Queen is in really good shape. I think he is a potential contender, but there's a lot of big names vying for it this season.
Yeah, you made a good point that, like, ASL's so big now. StarCraft's so popular. StarCraft's actually so lucrative as well if you're a streamer, especially with all these matches. So, like, there's a big incentive structure for, players to play and be in good shape, and viewership's there. So you're right. It is like a tougher landscape. One of the things, it's interesting when I see people kind of talk about what works in ecosystems and what doesn't. I'm surprised at how people don't understand how simple it is. Like, a lot of people think that we should bring back pro team houses. I'm like, no, those are terrible. No one, especially at this age, is going to be in a bunch of bunk beds playing on computers connected together. What you need is financial structures that allow players to thrive and grow while they're able to focus on the game.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what SOOP offers as a streaming service to these guys. Is they have tons of viewers who are very supportive. They're able to play competitive matches constantly. They have this centerpiece that is the ASL that everybody, even if you're just like a casual observer, will tune into to follow what's going on. And they've basically now built something that is 1,000 fucking
stuff isn't around, because all these guys would just be retired. They'd be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there's definitely like a kind of Peter Pan story element, like the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it makes me think of like when I would go to my friends' houses for like a week and we'd land there, and it would be like, I would drink probably like 15 Dr. Peppers and just eat pizza and mac and cheese. And it's like, that was fun. But if you want to have like a real ecosystem where people are doing this endlessly, you need to have something that's a little bit more matured, which is what we've got now with streaming, with ASL. With the scene, and that's why these guys are able to keep doing it. So, Queen versus Jadon, guys, the second match of the night. Back to Octagon. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I talking? Sorry.
Yeah.
We've got Queen in the top right and Jadon in the bottom left. Yeah.
I was looking and I saw that Jadong had picked red and Queen had picked pink, and they pop in a game, and of course it's on blue versus red. I'm like, you guys are literally trying to pick the closest colors you possibly can. Like, pro gamers will do that so often.
A lot of fans in the audience here. Sorry, Artosis,
yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I just wanted
to... man is holding a sign. Here I'm saying very insightful things as a caster right now.
The Jadong fan. Wow. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
You know, Jadong, again, historically has the best CVZ ever. We saw his stats for ASL weren't as good. He hasn't done that well in ASL. And I've seen some translated videos of people talking about that, where, like, he is, when you watch the stuff that isn't ASL, if you only watch ASL, you're like, I don't know, he's kind of mid-ish. Like, he's had round of 8s, but, like, that's about the ceiling for him. But if you watch outside of ASL, you're like, oh, he's, like, very close to Soma level. You know, like he's kind of similar in level if you watch all of his other games. So, like, for those of you who only watch ASL, you might look at the stats and be like, oh, his ZVZ doesn't even look that good. It's his lowest win rate in here. It's like, yeah, he hasn't necessarily had the greatest ASL performance so far, but we're in this very exciting season where Flash says it's his last. We'll see if that's the case. Bisu got top 4 last season and almost won. Like, he had Soma, like, on game 7 and lost to Ling All In. right? So like that doesn't count, right? So like Bisu's in unreal shape. Jaedong has the best win rate out of all the pros in the other stuff they play. Like, we are actually in a season where the greatest 3 players of all time are all contenders to win. What in the world?
Yeah.
What? Like, this is the first time this has happened in Remastered.
Yeah. Yeah. All 3 of these guys are looking so strong. You know, there's something about that, I would say 2007 to 9, 10-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe 2009 if I was going to try to narrow it down. Period where like the pro players were so good. Like and that's not to disparage everybody that came before them, because obviously, you know, it had to start with, you know, somebody, right? And then, you know, the next generation comes, and then one after that, and the one after that. But I just remember, and you know, this is around when we moved to Korea, Artosis. I mean, just watching what the players were doing and thinking, God, it's getting so advanced. How deep does it go?
Yeah.
And those 3 players for each race, Flash for Terran, Bisu for Protoss, and Jaedong for Zerg, those were the leaders of the respective races, and the stuff they were doing was crazy. And it is exciting because in some ways that is a lot of times looked at least amongst fans, as kind of the golden era. And you know, it's all pre-StarCraft 2, and you know, StarCraft 2, it did a lot of good for esports and for StarCraft, but it also caused a massive hiccup in what was going on with StarCraft 1, because we had a lot of people switch over. There was a period where half of the pros switched, then all. Then there was like a dark ages for StarCraft 1, and then we came back to this. But it's cool to see that those guys are looking so strong and could win, because it's going to be massive for ASL if one of them does.
For sure. And it would be so exciting if they could play each other in this tournament, because they have such a storied history against each other. Now, we have a little bit of an attack here from Jaedong. He's microing really well. Almost slipped that one Zergling in, but didn't quite get it. And he will pull back, and it looks like overall... Oh, he does get one in. And this is Jaedong, so that one ling is still dangerous. He has to be careful, though. He doesn't want to lose these other Zerglings. And in fact, he doesn't even really have other Zerglings on the way, or he didn't already. So if Queen does counterattack right now, it might be a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, Jaedong's control, really nice there. Queen as well. I mean, really great defense. It's really hard to ever outmaneuver Speedlings. Speedlings are some of the scariest things in StarCraft Brood War, honestly. You know, whenever you have something that's that fast, that can body block that well and deal that much damage that quickly, it's pretty scary. But the game's going to propel itself forward here. We're going to get to roughly even Spire timings. Drone counts are very sparse, but I think Queen has slightly more. And he is going to have a creep colony coming up here, which could be a sunken colony. If he didn't want to make it a sunken, it could have been a spore, but it looks like, I guess a spore would have been further down, actually. So Jaedong's going to try to come in again, and Queen's got a very masterful concave here.
Ooh, yeah, this does not look good for Jaedong right now. Even though he has a lot, like the sunken finishes up just in time. The arc was just really good there from Queen. Plus the sunken timing, it worked together perfectly there. So great defense there from Queen.
Yeah, Queen, I think, is looking pretty strong. Keep in mind, with the extra drones that are being made here, I mean, Jaedong is going to have to... Oh, no, hold on a second. I take it all back. He's making an extractor. So he's going to lean into mutas. I thought he was going to try to maybe force some kind of fight here. But he's going to be getting mutas of his own. He tries to dive in on one of those drones and doesn't get it. He gets fished forward here. And, dude, Queen's control is so good. He's playing, like, the perfect game, honestly.
That was impressive, that drone save. I thought for sure Jaedong was going to get that drone and just could not quite do it. So he actually lost a few more lings than he really wanted to there. And he will pull back. That sunken is going to be pretty useful for Queen. Counterattacks, like little counterattacks, the Zerglings aren't going to be quite as strong from Jaedong, whereas they'll still have full strength from Queen. And that's because of that static D. So I feel like looking at this game that Queen might be... I don't know. Like, do you think he might be slightly ahead here? It feels like he has a couple more drones, doesn't it?
Seems like it.
Seems like it.
You know, the fact that they're in cross spawns adds a layer of complexity here.
Yeah.
Neither side has overlords on the other side of the map. And so, like, there's so much ambiguity. Like, if you leave your base with mutas, you could be counterattacked by mutas. That's one very easy way to lose in ZVZ. Like, if you go halfway across the map and they fly in, they can kill all your drones, And even if you have more mutas and you fly back and kill them, they will have remade it. So both players end up getting kind of forced into these kind of weird, stagnant-looking games where they're kind of not doing a whole lot. The Ling Scout's going to come across. Now, if you see the group of mutas, that's huge, because that's going to prompt him to maybe leave, I think. Because he says, okay, there's that group of mutas. It's not like there's going to be, a bunch of them. And you can always count they're going to be close in number to whatever you have. So if it looks like you see whatever you have over there, you at least know where they are. And then you can try to set up your position.
Yeah, this type of position does seem really hard to play from. And a lot of times you'll see a third base actually taken in games that look similar to this because it's so dangerous to fly across the map. Even just the travel time, like they will have additional mutas pop out. So if you don't already have an advantage at this point, and the thing is the muta advantage, like we could have like a drone advantage or a Zergling advantage, but like it's more of a muta advantage that you're looking for. If you don't already have a muta advantage, to fly across the map and attack is incredibly difficult. So I feel like this game we're probably going to see third bases. That's my guess. But Jaedong's coming across. He's looking very aggressive here. But I don't know that this is going to end up working.
Does he have armor or attack?
Definitely not
either
yet.
side here.
It shouldn't be done yet. And they both have 11 mutas here. So full groups. In fact, Queen has one more, it looks like. But Jaedong's micro looking very good so far.
Oh, I love that Queen this overlay just basically covers this fight where I have no idea what's going on. What is this? It's weird because the tile set for the temples looks like another picture-in-picture, so I feel like I'm going crazy. So, all right, now that we've missed most of the fight, who actually wins this? It seems like Queen has enough to basically chase this to the corner and execute it.
That's, well, it's basically exactly what we were talking about, right? Cross map, you're flying all the way over there, and wow, Jaedong actually makes a move where he gets around the Mutalisks. So it looks like he wants to counter. Actually, Jaedong can still pull this out because those 4 mutas got away. Like, if Queen had actually trapped those as you suggested, which I think he should have been able to, but he didn't, I feel like this game was much more likely to end, but suddenly Jaedong comes out here, and the Mutalisk count very similar now. And he starts to take it.
Hold on. More mutas are going to come in here. And, I mean, I think Jaedong actually does barely have enough. The question is, can he snowball this? Scourge are going to come in here. Kind of a tough angle to dodge both of these. Can he flick shot these down? He has enough to one-shot him. He does very nicely. Jaedong's control is crazy. In, honestly, what looked like a losing game no matter what.
Yeah.
You got to remember, mutas don't have great sight, and Scourge are even much worse. And so I guess Queen wasn't able to track those down and get the execute on him. And now here we are. We've got the mutas over this area. If the mutas die here for Queen, the drones are going to go next. And after that, it's going to be the game.
That's crazy. I thought Queen had it after he won the first muta battle. Yeah. Whoever wins the first muta battle wins like 95% of the time or something. It's insane. So the fact that Jaedong like kind of outmaneuvered when he was running away and then regrouped and was able to kill all the mutas of Queen, and his micro has been god tier. Like, I have seen him pick off so many Scourge. That's crazy. You can see how happy he is with that because he definitely got behind there for a moment. But that is old Jaedong there, where it doesn't even matter what's happening. He just brute forces his way through with skill. Damn, what a game.
That was a great ZVZ. Pretty bold move, too, to try to run in and basically take a fight over the patches. Let those glaives transfer down, maybe even onto some of the drones and get kills that way. And then it backfired. And just through maneuverability and dexterity, Jaedong got out of that. He wriggled free from what should have been Queen's killing blow and then came back with some kind of crazy counterattack. Queen is going to be hurting from that. I mean, this is a day of, not just some insane upsets, but some crazy games so far. And that was just game 2.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually true. Queen has to go down and fight Best. He was probably thinking he'd be playing Best in the winner's match, and here he is in the loser's match having to have that same battle. Wow. I tell you, Queen, I mean, he looked really good all game. It's just that I can't believe Jaedong came back there. It feels really rare to see comebacks in ZVZ.
All right, guys, Leta versus Jaedong coming up. Crazy night. Let's see if it gets any crazier. We'll be right back.
Show me what you wanna do now. Oh, yeah. Say ooh, show me what you wanna do now. Oh, yeah, yeah. Show me, show me, show me. Don't hurt me. Everybody wants somebody. Oh, they can hold the key. Yeah. And everybody wants somebody. Yeah. They can love again and again and again. Oh, we gotta seize the moment. Time's gonna keep on going. They know we got this. So show me what you wanna do now. Say ooh, show me what you wanna do now. Yeah, yeah. Show me. Show me what you wanna do. Show me what you wanna do. So show me what you wanna do now. Say show me what you wanna do now. Yeah, yeah. So show me what you wanna do now. Oh, yeah. Say show me what you wanna do now. So show me what you wanna do now. Yeah. Say show me what you wanna do now. Yeah, yeah. I put it all on the line. Everything I have, I risk it for the climb. Lay it on the track that I put it all on the line. No gain without sacrifice, no growth without pain. You don't want to roll the dice, but fortune favors the brave. So I'm reaching towards the light. Now that this moment's come around, I'm taking a chance tonight, and there is no way I'm backing down. I put it all on the line. Everything I have, I risk it for the climb. Take it as a fact, I am never looking back now. Never ever gonna waste my time. Being a winner is a state of mind. Lay it on the track that I put it all on the line. 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 Do you feel what I'm feeling? The stars are all aligned. Gotta break through this ceiling. It's just a matter of time. And if you never seize it.
1998년부터 시작된 프로도의 역사는 아직 끝나지 않았습니다. 새로운 역사의 시작 ASL 스타크래프트 리마스터 최초의 대회 여러분들이 원하는 꿈의 축제 뜨거운 박수 넘어가는 MC로 뚫어요 역사적인 기록을
어려움은 나한테 아무것도 아니다. 가을의 주인공이
어게인 익천체 바닥부터 시작해서 7년 만에 헤란의 새로운 왕권
최고의 선수.
뛰는 연속 우승 자부왕조의 트로피를 이어받는 새로운 우승자의 이름은 박장현.
이런 선수들이 이런 멋진 경기를 팬들 앞에서 여전히 보여주고 있다라는 것을
We're back, everybody. What an unusual match 3 this is. Leta versus J-Dog. Leta played very well against Best. He won fair and square. I know we talked before that match started that was kind of probably going to be some kind of early game rush. And it was like a one base vulture drop, but it turned into a late macro game and Leta did outplay Best. So who knows, dude? If Leta can just get one win against J-Dong, he's going to be the first guy to go on to the round of 16 in this group.
And it's somewhat realistic. He's very good at Terran vs. Zerg, very highly technical builds. He's the best 2-port Wraith player in the world and has been forever since that became a real legitimate strategy, legitimate in air quotes. It is still utilized. A lot of pros try it from time to time. And we're going into Jane Doe, which, Jane Doe is a weird map. And it's a map where Leta could not just go 2-port Wraith, but also get an additional base easily, which is oftentimes the problem with 2-port Wraith, is getting into an additional base. So this is a map he can beat J-Dong, but look at the look on J-Dong's face. This is like old J-Dong, man. He's got his pissed off, I hate everything look that he's utilized to win so many championships in the past.
Yeah. No, he has that kind of dark energy on his face. This is a thing, by the way. People have talked about this a lot with J-Dong. No, he looks kind of enraged. So this is going to be a good one, man. Leta, J-Dong. Leta, by the way, how's he going to open? Could do something crazy like he did versus Best. Let's find out. J-Dong here on the right and Leta on the left.
This is exciting, man. This is like, I am a little bit wiggly right now. Obviously we need some more Zerg players and J-Dong is exciting, but Leta played so well against Best. It's just, if we get a 9th Terran there and we're going to miss out on one of these 3 players, I'm going to be really sad. But at the same time, if you're playing well enough to deserve it, it doesn't matter what your race is or how good you've been in the past. Right? What matters is how hard are you training now? How well are you executing? And Leta has looked fantastic here today.
Yeah. Look, this map is, a bit overwhelming, I think, for everybody when you look at it because there's so many unique parameters. What is your take in general on TVZ on this map?
So, I think it's pretty good for Terran overall. I feel like it can be definitely tricky, but the fact that, wow, he's not even going to wall. Okay. That's kind of weird that he's not walling, but you can go like command center first here pretty easily, or you can do, both sides have Zergling tight walls. Like they worked really hard to design the ramp in such a way where you have a Zergling tight wall over on this side. And that's actually important for map balance for Terran. Like if one side has Zergling tight wall and the other doesn't, that's like terrible. But anyways, the map I think is good for Terran because you can get the bases up really, really quickly. Like Zerg can get to 3 bases, but there's not like necessarily a free 4th. And the 4th base is where things get a little bit tricky. Right? Like if you get those 4 bases really going as Zerg, it's like you kind of have unlimited stuff after a few minutes. But yeah, with Terran, like I've seen so many strong mech pushes on this map. It does feel to me like it's a mech map for sure. And because you can expand so quickly, when you're doing like a regular mech build on a regular map, you can't expand to your natural as quickly oftentimes, or the mech is a little bit slower, or you can't get third base super fast. And that allows them to do things like get into queens and dominate. So that's why we see a lot of switches into mech as opposed to mech openers. But I feel like I'm rambling now. But like this map doesn't have that problem, basically.
You know, one thing that it's always seemed like to me is that, you know, Zerg are much more playable in ZVT on these maps where you do have 4 spawn locations. There's a lot of ways to kind of grow away from the Terran. But when you get these 2-player or 2 spawn maps, especially one like this, yeah, there's not a lot of places to go. Like, you have to basically force your new bases up over with strength versus being deceptive. You know, like we see some Zergs will take like the natural instead of the main because they're less likely to scan it. Like, there's a lot of ways to expand and play keep away as you grow in ZVT on 4 spawn maps. But on a lot of maps like this, like, you have to be able to take a base and hold it knowing the Terran is going to find it because there's only 1 or 2 spots you can take instead of, like, you know, let's say 4 or like 6 in some cases if you want to get really crazy.
Absolutely. This game, Jaedong, like, he scouted relatively quickly, which I think was important. And it is going to be a starport with a vulture. So it's not clear specifically because it's Leta as to exactly what's going to happen here. Now, the 2 marine pressure here with a 3rd one coming up, this is actually really dangerous. Like, things can go wrong here. You get that sunken down low enough. Oh my God, he's going for behind the minerals. Okay, Jaedong blocks perfectly. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh! That was so close, Tastosis. If that vulture gets up the ramp, the game might end. But Jaedong blocked it perfectly. Wow, really good execution.
So clutch. Beautifully done there by Jaedong. Yeah, I mean, if one vulture gets up there, you're totally right, Tastosis. I mean, you can kill as many drones as you have time, assuming you don't miss control here. Meanwhile, Jaedong down here, honestly doing a lot of delaying here on this command center in the bottom. And Leta, of course, he goes for the Leta Classic. This is maybe the most famous 2 starport player in the entire history of the game. In fact, he's by far the most famous 2 starport player ever.
Yeah. He truly is very, very good at it. A lot of players have become strong at it now. Bishop's really good at it. Light is really good at it. And back in the day, Gogo was pretty strong. No, Lomo. Lomo was the guy that was really strong at it as well. Yeah. But yeah, Leta is synonymous with 2-port Wraith. And like I said, this map, it's so easy to take an additional base. Oh, he gets the kill there. Normally, by the way, when someone goes Wraith, you get Burrow really quickly, but I think it wasn't super clear that he was going Wraith.
Yeah.
You know, it's him, so you should be like, yeah, of course he's going Wraith, but I don't think Jaedong got Burrow here.
So killing that first Overlord's big, but it doesn't supply block Jaedong here. But, you know, the thing about Wraiths is that they can be microed the exact same way you can micro Mutalisks. They're coded in the same way. So you can basically do that diving maneuver. And you got to remember, I mean, they do have Cloak. If you can snipe an Overlord in a fight, suddenly there's nothing to see the Wraiths, and you can really win a big fight that way. Now, we see Jaedong moving across the map. He is supply blocked now. Notice that he only showed 1 Wraith. So from the Zerg's perspective, this isn't 2-port Wraith yet. And so he's not going to reveal this until he probably has Cloak done. So the idea is going to be, okay, Cloak's done. Now, oh my God, he messed that maneuver up. So the idea is you want to get behind the Mutas, Cloak, and then you want to just stalk them and moving shot them the whole way so that you kill off everything.
It's such a strong move. And he's still looking for Overlords. Like, he actually, do you see how quickly he found that? He knows all the different angles people come in with because he plays this more than anybody. And there it is, Tastosis. There's the cloaking maneuver you were talking about. Bad news for Jaedong. Now, Jaedong is not dead here, by the way. Like, Leta, I would say, has a little bit of a lead, and he's so good in these positions. He plays them so much more than anyone else that he's, like, forcing you into his game, which helps him as well. But overall, the Wraith openers are not quite as strong as a lot of other things that Terran does. So, like, Jaedong still has potential. He has 3 bases here. you know, he's going to be able to field a huge amount of Mutalisks, and there's no way you're going to win with only Wraith. He's going to have to do something else with this. Is he going to go for a bio push with this? Is he going to go Valkyries with this? He's going to do something. We don't know what it is yet.
I got a question. Not even for the audience, more for me, because I can't remember. Does it cost mana to decloak the Wraith? Sometimes
No.
I see players don't uncloak them. Okay, so you turn it off and it's just the mana stops draining. Is that how it works?
Yes, that's right. The mana just stops draining, and it costs mana to turn it on, right? So
that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where you really lose a lot of mana, is turning on Cloak. Yeah. So that's also, you have to like select the cloaked wraiths separately from the uncloaked wraiths to do it. There's no like, you can't set it up so that your group of wraiths, like, you just uncloak the ones that are still cloaked. Like, you have to actually select them. So sometimes that takes a while to get done.
So, yeah, that's funny, because that means you could just like cloak, uncloak, and just deplete all your energy if you did it fast enough.
Yeah.
So we're in a air arms race now. The infantry are going to kick in later here. In fact, he's just now starting those other barrackses. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zerg's getting armor or something like that. We don't see any Valkyries yet. But, I mean, this is getting kind of crazy here. Okay, so Zerg armor is done. And I think Zerg might try to come out here for a fight, or at least he's kind of sharking around the outside of his base here, seeing if there's any other wraiths out.
He is getting his Queen's Nest right now. I don't think Valkyries are going to be made. He's not much of a Valkyrie guy, but Leta does do pushes where he has 11 wraiths, and then he just has Marine Medic. And they function really, really well. And in fact, he is getting a science facility here as well. As far as Jadon goes, I'll tell you what, I would like to see Ensnare this game. I think Ensnare would be a great choice, like 2 queens with Ensnare. I really think that would be worth it for him on his way to Hive. You know, you already have the Queen's Nest, and Ensnare is insanely strong against Wraiths. It decloaks them first off, and it slows them so much that they just can't get away.
Yeah. No, it's funny because Ensnare was basically unused for almost all of the game, especially pre-StarCraft 2. And now it has a lot of utility in a lot of different moments. And I always kind of felt like the Queen was just a good unit.
Yeah.
But, you know, in a situation like this, you kind of go, oh, it's such an obvious answer. You know, because Wraiths, you know, as scary as they look right now, you know, they deal so much damage, especially when you get a ton of them. The air-to-air missiles are crazy. But they actually have a hilarious low amount of HP. Like, they get obliterated at all if they can take damage. So the Ensnare just means they suddenly get caught. They have to fight. They get wiped out. And then that entire investment that led up to, you know, the whole game, it was like 10 minutes of work, is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Queen is really underutilized. I think part of the problem with that, by the way, is Zerg has all the best units. Like, every Zerg unit is amazing. The Devourer is the only one where you can be like, I'm not entirely sure, but it's really a support unit. Like, it's not something you're supposed to just make. It's like support for very specific situations. But like, all the Zerg units are so good that it feels like weird to make Queen sometimes, but a Queen would be helpful here.
Sure.
Now, Irradiate is out. He has double eBay and everything too. This is a scary army, isn't it?
Oh, where's the vessel? This weird angle. Oh, man. Okay, it's kind of okay. He lost a lot. By the way, there's only one vessel, and that's all because he was making wraiths instead of vessels this whole game. So if that vessel goes down, you have to rely on scans. Just want to point that out here. The wraiths are going to come in here. They're going to be one-shotting overlords. Oh, my God. Look how nasty that is.
It is. He really is the best at this, guys. Like, what you're watching here, you're only going to see from him generally. And look at that. Yeah. He kills a lot of overlords, gets a big supply block on Jadong, and he has that little group of Marines and medics behind him, too, to fall back to if he needs.
Yeah. He's going to come up again. I think the Wraith actually has slightly more range than the Hydra. Am I correct about that? Or like you can kind of moving shot this in a way?
I think the Hydra actually has slightly higher range, but like there's a way that you dart in with the Wraiths where it feels like their range is really, really good because they're so responsive like Mutas.
So he's going to irradiate that one Muta up there. Terran going up to a third base. Zerg still only on 3 bases, by the way. We need a 4th base coming in here. Leta doesn't have to try to break the Zerg. He just has to kind of keep the pressure on here.
You know, the one thing I found weird about this game is Leta went double engineering bay. And it feels like the counter to this is what Jaedong's doing. Like, oh my god, man, he is dealing so much damage to these overlords. But like, if you get Dark Swarm and Plague here, like, that counters everything that Leta's doing. Literally everything.
Yeah.
As Defilers oftentimes do. But it feels like I would have thought that you should go, like, Bio here and then go into Mech, maybe. Right? And just have, like, a million Siege Tanks. Because, like, Siege Tanks would do perfectly against this army, and he just doesn't have that. But, I mean, he's doing really well with what he has.
Yeah, Jaedong's been very patient, basically teching up and getting into the Defiler. The Defiler changes the matchup. Out of all the matchups in the game, no matchup changes as much as when a Defiler comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy what you can do with it. He's rushing into Consume for Dark Swarm here so that he can just keep recycling Dark Swarm. And eventually he's going to be getting Plague. And you're going to basically just push with Hydra Lurker here. You don't have a ton of tanks when you do this. You kind of spend most of your gas on the Wraiths early, and then you're playing catch-up here with the Vessels. So sometimes, like, Hydra Lurker can just run up here and break the Terran down.
Yeah.
And, you know, the pressure's finally off of Leta's back. Jaedong's back, and now it's on to Leta. So, you know, a lot of times a game can be decided by just having one Dark Swarm over the natural expansion of Terran.
It's the scariest thing. And generally against a strat like this, you want to have a lot of Siege Tanks, like 2 to 3 factory Siege Tanks pumping. And he has a few tanks right now, but not quite enough. Oh, a Plague goes down on those Wraiths. A Plague goes down on the Marines and Medics as well. But he does get some good Irradiates in there for sure. But Jaedong is going to be able to eliminate this army. And this is, like, no one's really playing very much Bio right now, right? Like, there's not a lot of Marine Medic Science Vessel going on in general because Zergs have gotten so good with Defilers.
Right.
So I want to see in the main base, like, is he just adding Raxes? Are we... Okay, I see 2 factories there with that on, so that's really good. Like, he needs lots of tanks if he's going to win this game.
But the last Wraith was killed. That's like when Samson had his hair cut. Like, there's no way. It's over, man. I mean, the tool that made Leta the man he is now is gone. Hold on, there's a big push coming in here now. Dark Swarm comes down.
Oof.
And they're hitting these tanks really hard. And, you know, the thing is, tanks, they can do, when in siege mode, they do damage to things that are not burrowed. So you can kind of scuff up the Lurkers. You can kill some of the Hydras. The problem is, once the Lurker gets burrowed and Dark Swarm's over it, other than Irradiate, it is literally invincible.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or you have Fire Bats from every different angle try to hit it. I mean, you're just not going to kill it, basically. And that's where it's getting scary.
Yeah, I'm really excited to share something about that with you. But hold on, this push. Okay, not going to happen. I actually learned 2 new things about Dark Swarm and Burrow this year. Number 1, if you nuke and hit first off, a Lurker that's burrowed, if you nuke near it, but not right on top of it, it doesn't take damage if it's not in the primary blast radius. The splash damage of a nuke does not deal damage underground. Isn't that insane? Also, if it's
just like real life, Tastosis.
Yeah, just like real life. And also, if you are burrowed under Dark Swarm, Plague does not affect you.
Oh.
Wild. I just found that out like a week ago.
Wait. Can you say that one more time? I don't even think I
like, let's say you have a Lurker that's burrowed under Dark Swarm and someone casts a Plague on it. The Plague doesn't hit the burrowed Lurker.
Oh, wow.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
I learned something, this was a few years ago, that apparently if you, like, Plague a Reaver, and as the Plague animation's hitting it, you pick it up into a shuttle and unload it, the Plague, it doesn't stick to it.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's like a lag time, basically? Like, maybe that would work with any dropping unit?
Yeah, we could test it out. But yeah, I saw it with the Reaver, and I was blown away. I thought that's crazy. I had no idea.
All right, we haven't...
So we got a drop over here in the bottom right. You know, look, we were talking about how this is kind of a close game, and it is, but Jaedong hasn't breached Leta, and Leta just took out the 4th base.
That's right.
So this is, you know, Leta's actually playing really well, man. He loses one dropship, but like, you know, by the way, there's not a lot of bases on this map. Unlike most of the maps in ASL where there are 4-player spawns, there's, you know, ZVT, it's very hard to ever run out of bases. Just like the way the matchup works. You know, I think PVT, it's also very hard, but more realistic. TVT, much more realistic. But, you know, on a map like this, I mean, you're just going to run out of space fast here. So, you know, it's a problem here. You know, like I said before, if you're going to take a base, you have to be able to defend it as Zerg. You can't just kind of take it in an obscure location and play keep away.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing that now. Meanwhile, you know, as good as Jaedong is at trying to break through these positions with Dark Swarm, so far he hasn't done it.
Yeah,
I spoke too soon here.
Well, he's gonna get rid of that base, which is really important. The siege tank count is really climbing. You do have to be careful with these tanks because, like, still Dark Swarm is going to be very good against them. Plague is going to be very good against them. Look at him; he just targeted down that lurker and didn't quite get the other one. So that one's going to be a little bit invincible. And does have to pull back. And look at that. Yeah, I mean, he loses like 4 or 5 tanks in the front. A bunch of them get plagued right there. This is the type of grinding play that Jaedong needs to do against those tanks. But, you know, he lost that 4th base. He made a new one. He's re-expanding that same location as well. And look at this move from Jaedong. I think he just pulled this game. Like, it was still looking... Oh, he just plagued his own Hydras. That is so funny. I think he tried to Dark Swarm and he accidentally plagued.
Yeah, that was a funny moment there. All the tanks were killed off here. By the way, there's going to be another drop over here. I don't know if this one is going to wipe the base or not, but Jaedong already has a 4th base close to the center of the map. So he's still got, you know, a position that he can kind of extend the game out into. Another dropship's going to come up over here. It's going to happen to be hit by these Scourge. Yeah, there's just too much here. You can't do anything.
Good attempt from Leta, who does cancel out that base in the bottom right once again. His dropship play has been really, really fantastic, but look at how close the supplies are right now. When the supplies get close, that almost always means Zerg is winning. It's super rare that that's not the case, because they're just like, they're more supply efficient in many ways. So this is, it's looking rougher and rougher for Leta. He's having a hard time getting out of his base. His siege tank count has been really dramatically reduced. He's still alive, and it's going to be really hard to kill him, but I feel like this game is going very inevitably towards Jaedong's victory.
Yeah, if Jaedong can keep the game looking like it is right now, he will win. It's going to be close, but he will actually take it. Because Leta has basically drained out the bottom base, and he's at his the 3rd base now, but... You know, the SCVs are going to suck up all the minerals there pretty fast. And, you know, from here, it's going to be hard. You know, again, now the same problem presents itself for Terran. You can't hide a base anywhere. You can't be sneaky. The only way you're going to get a base up now as Leta is to force your way onto a base. And that would mean you have to push through this Dark Swarm. And the only way you can really push through Dark Swarm and Lurkers is to have a lot of vessels, which he lost earlier.
Yeah, a lot of siege tanks as well, which he lost earlier also. You know, when you're playing against this type of comp, you need to have so many siege tanks, and you need to spread them too. You have to be really careful about that because he kind of had them too clumped before. But you have to have so many siege tanks that you make your opponent wonder why they even play StarCraft. Like, you need to have so many that their army will evaporate if they try to approach you. Because otherwise, this is what happens. See, like, he's just leapfrogging forward, picking off tanks. But if you have like 10 tanks there, everything's dead before it even gets to you. And this is where the problem has been for Leta. He never really hit the critical mass correctly. Like, he had it for a moment, but he moved all of it forward and lost too much of it.
You know, he's doing a nice run around here. The problem is that, you know, Hydras actually obliterate Marines when they're plagued. Yeah. Hydras are, in a lot of ways, early on in a ZVT, the worst unit, because Marines destroy them, tanks will wipe them out. But once you get plagued, suddenly they can do a lot more.
For sure. If you have enough tanks, though. The tanks don't care about
Yeah.
Hydras. Not very much at all.
The number of Hydras attacking into the same number of tanks in siege mode, even with Dark Swarm, shouldn't work.
Yeah. Well, Leta is going to try to take another base. Jaedong is getting his 4th. He actually had pretty high drone saturation, so he's actually out of minerals in his main base already. You know, that's kind of good for Leta. And also, we're hitting the 22, 23-minute mark, and that's where the first 2 gases for Zerg run out. And actually, the back gas is a little bit lower on gas. So, the, I think within the next 3 minutes, Jaedong's going to be on, you know, the first 3 gases are all going to be empty. I know the first one is, I know the back one is. But I think the one in the front is going to be empty very soon now as well. And so that could make it a bit harder for him also.
Oh my god, these SCVs are actually, I think, all gonna get by. Can they actually get to this base? Dude, that's crazy. That was so close to all of those just dying out. Jaedong's gonna do a big counterattack over here into the natural. Again, there's a ton of SCVs over here. He's gonna go for the command center. Can this actually be repaired in time? There's so much damage coming down. Oh!
Well, Leta with a little counterattack here has no fire bats in there, unfortunately. Loses his command center. He is getting a new base up. That lurker actually dealing a lot of damage to his workers here as well. Can he get something done with this little group of Marines and medics? If he could get the drones at that additional base, I don't know. Maybe he can secure like his natural again, float a command center down there and keep this game going. But that is a lot of Hydras coming out of Jaedong.
Yeah, so many SCVs are getting killed off here. The truth is, though, he's got this base up. I mean, Leta's got, I mean, he's got a chance, but he's going to have to basically secure this. And the problem is it's such a messy fight over here. It is natural. I'm worried he doesn't have enough. Oh, God, there's nothing protecting these vessels. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jaedong takes the bottom right.
Looks like we're going to get a finish here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like a few fire bats and tanks, like it can be a good combo, but he just hasn't been able to get his actual army up to that same size once again. It's too bad. I felt like he actually, it's just that one moment where he moved forward with like the 6 tanks and ended up losing. I think he lost like 7 or 8 tanks in that one engage. Like that went from a position where he could have won the game into a position where Jaedong was really in control.
Okay, the Hydras are going to come up here. This should be the killing blow. I think Leta has to tap out. GG.
Wow,
Nicely
Jaedong
done.
really
Jaedong
happy.
Yeah, super pumped off that win. Leta is not out. He will go to the losers match, but Jaedong's got to be feeling just hyped on that, man.
Yeah. Well, he kept his cool. There were like some rough moments when Leta's flying around killing like 4 overlords in 4 seconds. Like you can't be feeling good about that game, you know? And then he had some big pushes, that drop in the bottom right that killed his 4th base. Leta was doing a lot of things really well. Leta's really playing way beyond what I expected tonight.
Yeah, Leta's playing great. You know, and it's still Leta. It's his style, but he's looking really strong and really well-rounded and really good in the late game, honestly. I mean, this is the most I've ever enjoyed casting Leta ever.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to go to an interview now and see how Jaedong's feeling, man. He has got the second to last place here in the round of 16.
ASL Season 21 24강 마지막
You're watching Group F, the last group of the round of 24 here at ASL Season 21, as we have our first player through to the round of 16 today. It's Jaedong. Let's bring him out here on stage. A round of applause, please. Congratulations. You showed very composed and clean matches today. This is your 4th season in a row where you advanced to the round of 16. Please let the fans know how you're feeling. I was very worried. So I'm very happy to advance with 2 straight wins. All the practice paid off. Thank you. With your first match today being a best of 1 and a ZVZ at that, you must have had a lot going through your mind even before the game started. It was a bad start for your 12 pool going up against a 12 hatch. It's not something you can just brush off, but regardless, with your sharp Muto and Scourge Micro, well, actually, the start of it didn't really go your way. Right. If you look back at it, what was it like?
제일 최악의 상황이 나와서 좀 게임
It
하면서
was the worst
아,
possible
설마
scenario.
했는데 그냥
So as I played, I was like, oh no, oh god.
가는 대로 제
But I
실력을
just
믿고
trusted myself.
했는데
I let my hands do all the work.
좀 명훈이가 좀 방심한 것 같아요.
And with a bit of luck,
좀
Queen
잘
let his guard
받아먹어서
down a little.
이길 수 있었던 것
I
같습니다.
took advantage of that, and I was able to win.
그 작은 틈을 이재동 선수가 침착함과
Queen created an opening that you, with your composure and expert micro, you did not hesitate to exploit, and ended up securing a victory. And then, in the winner's match, you ran into Leta. In the early game, Leta sent out 3 Marines and a Vulture. You did not make any army and defended that with just a Sunken. I think it was a crucial moment in the game. What are your thoughts?
그냥 뭐 상황은 잘 모르겠는데
I don't
집중
really know what to say about that
계속
situation. I
집중하려고
just focus. I
노력해가지고
try to
그런
stay focused as I play.
잘 막아냈던
So
것 같고
even that scenario, I just managed to defend.
최대한 그첫 경기 보고 최대한
With that
방심 안
first
하려고,
game, I kept
생각했던
making
게
sure
주요했던
that
것
I
같습니다.
don't get sloppy, and that seems to have been the key.
오늘의 결과는 다 연습 덕인 것 같다라고 말씀을
You said
하셔서
that today's result
갑자기
is all
궁금해지는데
thanks to the
이재동
practice you
선수
put in.
오늘 본선
And it got me
경기에 임하기
thinking,
위해 연습
Could
과정은
you tell us a little
어떠셨는지
bit
좀
about
들려주실 수
how you
있을까요?
practiced for today's matches?
특별히 오늘 경기를 위해서 막 준비를 많이 하진
It's not like I
않았는데
practiced a lot specifically for today's games.
기본기를 좀 늘리려고
I mainly focused on fundamentals
연습을 많이 했던 게
overall,
지금 오늘 좀
and I think I was able to showcase that a little bit today.
이번
So I am
시즌
very
16강에
content.
진출한 종족들 중에 저그가 많은
With
종족들을
Zerg
차지하지
not being
못하고
that
있기 때문에
populous
이재동
of a
선수에게
race in
거는
the
기대가
round of
팬들
16 this
입장에서 클
season,
수밖에 없을 것
which will undoubtedly make the
같습니다.
fans
팬들에게
look
이번
forward to
시즌
seeing you
각오,
play.
또 동료분들께도 한
Tell the
말씀
fans
전해주시죠.
what your resolutions are for this season, and also address your colleagues, please.
이번에 진짜 팬분들께서 응원 많이 해주셔서
I'm sure a lot of people cheered for me here, and
보답한 것 같아서
I think I was able to repay them with 2 straight wins, so I'm very satisfied with that.
준호랑
And for helping me practice this time, Baxter and Tolbo, and
네 그렇게 둘한테 너무 고맙고
yeah, I'd like to thank these 2 guys.
또 질문이 뭐였죠?
팬분들께
Sorry, what was the
감사
rest of the question?
인사 전해주시고요. 네.
네,
Oh, please just thank and address the fans.
감사합니다.
와,
Oh yes, I'll win this season. Thank you.
엄청난 각오를 들려주신 이재동
Wow,
선수입니다. 다시 한번
hugely
16강 진출
determined is Jaedong.
축하드립니다.
Once more, congratulations on advancing to the round of 16.
자, 이렇게 오늘 F조에서 가장 먼저 16강에 진출한
We've just
이재동
heard from
선수와
Jaedong,
함께
our
인터뷰를
first player through to the
나눠봤고요.
round of
저희는
16 out of
잠시
Group
쉬었다가
F today.
오늘의 최종전으로
We'll take a short break
돌아오겠습니다.
and return with the losers and decider matches.
dangerous. It's getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous. Getting dangerous. There's danger in your eyes. It's tempting blessing in disguise. Oh, I'm falling for your lies. Welcome to paradise. There's danger in your eyes. It's tempting blessing in disguise. Oh, I'm falling for your lies. Welcome to paradise. There's paradise waiting for you. It all comes soon enough. Let's go for it. There's danger in your eyes. It's tempting blessing in disguise. Oh, I'm falling for your lies. Welcome to paradise. There's danger in your eyes. It's tempting blessing in disguise. Oh, I'm falling for your lies. Welcome to paradise. There's danger in your eyes. It's tempting blessing in disguise. Oh, I'm falling for your lies. Welcome to paradise.
We're back, everybody. And dude, what a crazy match this losers match is going to be. Queen and Best. I mean, this could be easily like a round of 8 match here in any other season of ASL. Instead, one of these two guys, their entire season 21 is going to be decided on a best of 1.
Yeah. On Jane Doe, and they actually played in the round of 8 in the last couple of years. And that was, I mentioned it earlier, that's one of my favorite round of 8 matches that we've had in recent memory. That was such a close, awesome one. This is going to be highly contested. I'm really interested to see how Best is going to play this. We talked a lot about the timing of setting up that forward base. You know, do you go down there a little bit early and try to get your cannons up? Is Zerg able to pressure you with those Hydras? We're going to see here.
Okay, PVZ at last, by the way. Can I just say this? Oh, this matchup? Finally.
Wait a minute, there's no
Okay.
Terran player here? What is going on?
Yeah, where are the humans? What is this? We've got Best on the right and Queen on the left. Guys, second plug of the day here, patreon.com/ASL English. Please support us. Consider signing up. Maybe you've been meaning to do it, but you just haven't gotten around to click and open another tab, to downloading the Patreon app on your phone, but consider doing it. Give us a few minutes of your day and sign up, and we will be eternally grateful to you.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone who has signed up. And don't forget, like, even if you're not signed up, it's a great place to go to get links to the VODs, since the release format is a little bit different this season. It's a lot quicker release. Right. But the quicker portion of it is on SOOP, on our personal channels on SOOP, which is Artosis and Tasteless TV. And I give links to all the VODs on the Patreon as well.
Yes. So basically, we're premiering on SOOP first, which I think is, fair to SOOP. I mean, this is their tournament, right? So we can premiere on their platform, and then it's uploaded to YouTube already. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this has actually already been up for probably like 1 to 2 days. So if you're hardcore and you want to watch us, hold on, I'm going to get to this. Let me just finish the idea. If you want to watch it, just go to the SOOP pages if you want to watch it early. It's just another thing we're offering here. What is this hatchery doing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm honestly so confused. This is like the most all-in thing ever. Because
but why is it not even by the minerals? I mean, I get hiding a hatchery maybe, but like, why would you put it?
Okay, so I have
why would you put it there?
There's 2 things that come to mind. Number one, this is 100% all in, and it's a closer rally. But number 2 is the rally might actually get screwed up if you have it back at the minerals because of that weird temple and mineral patch. So he might have tested this and realized that units were getting stuck when he rallied them to where he wants them.
Artosis, I want to kiss your brain. You're totally right. That's what it is. It's the second one. It's the fact that if it's by the minerals, the rally probably gets screwed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So this, I think it's just like maybe a speedling all in where he just wants to break the ramp. Yeah. I wonder if he'll use drones. Like, remember the speedling all ins that would use drones to break ramps sometimes? You remember those from way back?
Well, I think they're actually holdable now because all you have to do as Protoss is like use your probes and try to bust the drones with the probes, and it kind of evens out. But I mean, he could. You know, this is why weird maps like this are so great. Is a map like this, you look at it, and you know it's got some weird features, which allows for a couple weird strategies that can probably only be used once. We'll probably only see the strategy on a map like this once.
Yeah.
Maybe in 8 years we'll have another map like this and we'll see something similar. But this is so unique as far as what's going on.
By the way, he held the Lings back. He made the Lings. He sat there for a very specific amount of time, and then he brought them down. Very important to note. He's trying to make this look like it's not an all-in. Go ahead, Tastosis.
Yeah. So he's thank you, Artosis. So he's gonna try to basically fake this out like, oh, I'm teching. I just don't want you to scout me. My hatchery's making, but then he's gonna explode with Ling speed. Now, you go ahead, Artosis.
He has a lot of Zerglings, Tasteless. He's not mining any gas. He's got, like, the smallest drone count ever. There is a very good chance that he kills Best here. There's not even a forge. Like, once your Zealots are dead, you're dead. And that is too many Lings. 2 Zealots will never hold this.
Yeah. This is going to come in here and hit so hard. I don't see any drones for the drill. Funnily enough, you have to, like, take this medic out. Doesn't really buy the Protoss that much more time. Here's that probe. Probe's actually behind here to start this off. This should just be death here for Protoss. I mean, the probes can do a lot of damage over time, but eventually the Zealots are going to fall. And, you know, a Dragoon just doesn't deal damage very fast at all.
Nope.
And I think Best is out.
Yeah.
By the way, total strategic brilliance here from Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really see games like this very often anymore at all. He's going to surround this Dragoon. He's going to surround the Zealot as it comes out. That is it, and Best knows it. Best knows literally he is dead.
Best?
The onslaught of Lings will not be stopped. There's 3 probes here. The pylon's about to be unpowered. We're about to go to the next game.
I feel so weird right now. Like, Best going out in the round of 24 was not on my ASL 21 bingo card. GG.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's... Like, this guy, if he's not in the round of 8, it's a weird season. And, like, he is easily a round of 4 guy, like, half the time. Like, he is just... Best is so good, and tonight was not his night. I did feel like he didn't play his best game against Leta, and here he just got... He got strat-maxed, Tasteless.
He got strat maxed. You know, he's gonna. It was a bit of a looks max. As like from my caster perspective, it was a bit of a look maxing build. Looks maxing.
Yeah.
But in the end, as the Lings got in there, he got totally frame logged.
Yeah. What can you do? Like he probably has never seen that particular build. It was very well executed. Queen hid what it was really, really well. He abused the current meta and got a completely free win. That. Like you said, we won't see that again. Like I don't think anyone can pull that off again in this season.
Tech maxing when he should have been gesture cheesing. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, coming up next, Queen versus Leta. We'll be right back.
1998년부터 시작된 프로도의 역사는 아직 끝나지 않았습니다. 새로운 역사의 시작 ASL 스타크래프트 리마스터 최초의 대회 여러분들이 원하는 꿈의 축제 뜨거운 박수 여러분의 MC로 뚫어요 역사적인 기록을
어려움은 나한테 아무것도 아니다. 가을의 주인공이
엔딩 축제 이게 바닥부터 시작해서 7년 만에 테란의 새로운 왕관 최고의 선수 찌는 연초우승 자부왕주의 트로피를 이어받는 새로운 우승자의 이름은 박상현.
이런 선수들이 이런 멋진 경기를 팬들 앞에서 여전히 보여주고 있다라는 것을
We are back, guys. Queen versus Leta. Best is gone, and Jaedong has survived. You know, let's keep an open mind going into this. I mean, Leta's played some really great games, and you know, he could win. He could totally do it. I think Queen is supposed to win. I think we can also all agree on that. But Leta is looking stronger, more robust, more well-rounded. I'm excited for this final game here in the round of 24.
Yeah, they actually played in the qualifiers, and Leta I actually thought was going to beat Queen on day one, and then Queen just kind of pulled it out of nowhere. He did like a massive Hydra drop into the main base when Leta had opened Wraith and had tanks and stuff, and he busted everything. So they've definitely, like, Queen knows how to play against Leta, that's for sure, but I think it can be a really good match. We're going to go into Polestar, big 4-player map. Let's see if he opens 2-port Wraith Tasteless. I'm excited to see if that's how this is gonna go down.
Could be, man. If anybody's gonna do it, it would be Leta. Polestar, as you said, our final map, guys. This is a fight for that very last spot. 15 players in the round of 16. The last spot goes to one of these two. Will it be Queen or will it be Leta? Okay, Queen in the bottom left, scouting north with the Overlord, and Leta in the bottom right.
Ooh. Very exciting. Like, you know, obviously for racial balance, we really want Queen to go through. But Leta is playing the best games, I feel like, of his career so far. Just
People
looking
praying.
really great, yeah. It's just serious business, Tasteless.
This is serious, man.
Both these guys have a lot of fans.
Yeah. I love just seeing the fans in the audience and how hype everybody is.
Yeah.
It's funny, too, because, you know, there's a lot of young people in the audience, but you can see some of the fans have aged with the game, right? We have a lot of people in their 40s showing up now, or people showing up with their kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, we say it in many casts, but it's kind of nice. The game's so old that it no longer feels like we're at any risk at all of it suddenly falling off.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a point where games get old enough, you're kind of like, no, we're not worried about this being a trend or not. I don't know, which brings me a great sense of comfort. I was always an optimist with StarCraft. You know, I always thought the fact that I was still interested in the game, and I think I like cool stuff. I think I have good taste.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like this is all I know. In fact, like I know all sorts of great games and I know all sorts of other forms of entertainment, but I always thought if I like this, there's got to be a bunch of other people that like this too. And that is true in Korea and outside Korea.
Yeah.
But it's cool to really see, you can tell there's been a lot of people who have been there since the beginning and are still here.
Absolutely. It's a game that just keeps on giving. You know, every time I go to like a LAN tournament and I see all the fans that show up, or look at an ASL and the crowds that are there, or, you know, just even with my Tastosis cast channel, the amount of people that are watching each day and leaving comments and excited about the different matches, and people in the comments for, you know, the ASL and everything. It's like people just love Brood War, and I think that they always will. And so a big thanks to everyone who's supported, you know, watching, spreading the word. Checking out the Patreon. Thank you much, guys. It's amazing, and it's not going to go away. I'm not going to stop. So I mean, If what is that stupid copy pasta where it's like, if it has one fan, it is me. If it has no fans, it is because I have died.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't remember the full thing. I used to have like a whole notepad of all those copy pastas. They were so funny.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so we have Leta. I mean, it's one base gas. I assume we're going to go right into the Wraith. By the way, it is remarkable that he's stuck with this. I mean, I don't know that it's going to be Wraiths, but I'm like 95% sure that's what's coming here eventually. It's going to start out with this bunker rush. It is remarkable, anyways, that Leta's like kind of done this like tech play so often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, all Terrans can do it on some level, but he's like, he defaults into it.
He's really, really good at it. I do wonder which one he's doing, because he's a little bit short on gas right now. Like, the thing is, he knows all the balancing he needs to do with his economy. This is wild, man. Like, he is playing very bravely, and he's going to get drones. This is insanely good. This is so good for Leta. To get 2 drones while forcing a sunken is absurd. Wait, he got 3 drones
that
there,
couldn't
right?
have gone better.
Yeah.
He killed 3 drones. You're correct. He killed 3 drones, and then he forced a sunk.
Like, that is such a good opener for Leta. And now he has a Vulture in front. He knows there's not a single Ling on the map. He knows that his opponent has to drone up. And he's making a Wraith already? I don't know where he's going to go from this. Like, he could do a Valkyrie build from here, and I think that would be actually really strong, although we don't see that yet. I bet you he just puts down a second port because that's who he is, but what a great opener from Leta. Like, Queen is already on the back foot a little bit.
Yeah. Beautiful opening. It is rough for Zerg. By the way, there it is. Of course, double starport.
Can't be helped.
His signature build. So it is rough that Zerg, they lose like 2 or 3 drones early, and it's so bad. These builds are so tight now.
Yeah.
So this Wraith is going to come across the map. Now, I should point out, this is playable for Zerg. It's much harder because he lost the drones, but this is a kind of wonky, hard to navigate too easily early game to mid game here for the Zerg. But you can get on the other side of it, and you're in a better spot later on.
Perfect control so far from Leta. Getting as much damage as he can. He'll get in here. He sees the Spire timing. Hopefully for his sake, his eBay is about to finish. Yeah, there it is. He's got all the timings down so well here. Like, he really, he is the king of this type of build, and he's already got 2 more Wraiths on the way as well as Cloak. This is like a new and improved version of his Wraith build, by the way. Most of his Wraith builds are like 1 base he opens with the Wraiths. But I really like this version where he's like putting a little bit of pressure on early. 1 starport to get that Wraith out to do some scouting and kill an Overlord or whatever. And now into the 2-port a little bit later, but he's got that bigger economy. It's just, it seems like a less damage with the initial Wraiths than a 1-base build, but more robust in a lot of ways.
So I think he knows it's double port Wraith. He actually only saw 1 starport, but I think, of all people Leta, I think you look at that and you go, yeah, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
I would have known what's going on if I hadn't scouted him. You don't need as many turrets versus mutas when you do this, because the Wraiths function as sort of a defense mechanism versus the mutas that come in.
Yeah.
So it's not like you need the crazy stack, and because you're not chasing them down with Marines, right? Rushing into a science vessel. You're basically rushing into your own air fleet. It doesn't have the same kind of crazy utility that mutas do, but nothing else in the game really does. And Wraiths, there's a lot you can do with them. I mean, the Zerg really has to, in a game like this, the Zerg has to set up such a obscure set of skill sets to even know how to play against this. It is its own challenge.
It is. And that's part of what makes him so strong, is because he gets so much more practice in this. You can see how many turrets he's building right now. Overlord speed is done. One thing to know is, yes, the mutas beat the Wraiths if they can see them. Oh, God, that's not enough there. But Overlords are slower than mutas and Wraiths. So, like, you still have some room to kind of dodge vision of the Overlords and utilize your Wraiths. This is really strong looking, though, from Queen, because he doesn't really have anything to deal with all these Zerglings. This is going to be really problematic.
This bunker just doesn't finish in time. Oh my God, this is crazy. He's gonna run in here. And he can go right for the turrets. And the Wraiths have to come in here and protect this. So the expansion's gonna get beat up pretty badly.
The mutas are doing really good job. It's these Zerglings that are being a real problem. Like, he wants to be microing against mutas right now, and he's running out of cloak energy and everything. I think Queen is doing a really good job of dictating the situation.
Yeah, really clean play here from Queen. I mean, he literally got in there exactly a second before the defense might have stabilized a little bit.
Yeah.
And what's happening is Leta's not mining from his base, so he's kind of like losing value right now. Now, did Queen overextend here though? I mean, is the bunker? He needs to repair with that? No, he doesn't.
Oh my God!
Oh
my God!
Oh my God! You know, we need to come up with some. We should have done this a long time ago with some kind of epic but also bad name for Leta. Like, that's why we call him Wraith Flaming Skull or something. Like, he's done it again. Oh my God, he's fallen to Wraith Flaming Skull.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
unreal.
crazy.
What is going on with these upsets? What?
That is, dude, we have had the most insane upsets. Queen, two-time ASL champion, eliminated by a Terran player. Sulky, four-time ASL champion, eliminated by a Terran player. Larva, one-time ASL champion, eliminated by a Protoss player. 3 gigantic upsets right there. That is just crazy. But I liked the idea that Queen had, but Leta was just too strong. His micro was awesome. Repairing that bunker was super clutch. He was blocking the ramp. He had the extra Vulture in there as well to deal with those Zerglings. And, I mean, that's... Damn, man. Good for him. Good for him.
I mean, he did it, man. That's why they call him Wraith Flaming Skull. Beautifully done. I thought Queen looked pretty strong, but yeah, you overextend like that, and you don't have any Lings, you don't have any mutas, you don't have anything at all. We're gonna go to the interview now and see how he's feeling.
ASL Season21 24강 F조 경기 모두 함께 만나보셨습니다.
And that does it for Group F of the round of 24 here at ASL Season 21. The last upset of the round of 24 and the last player through to the round of 16. Let's talk to Leta. Congratulations.
신상문입니다.
Oh, hello. Thank you.
멋진 인사로
I'm Leta.
문을 열어주셨습니다.
You are Leta. You got ahead of me there, opening the interview with your own introduction. It's been 6 years since you last made the round of 16 in Season 10. You advanced again. In the pre-game interview, you warned us that you would be advancing with 2 straight wins. And with adequate practice, you get your result. How are you feeling? Honestly, I did practice a lot. And practice went really well, which filled me with expectations. My initial goal was to win with 2 straight wins, but man, Jaedong plays so well. I'm still happy making it through the decider. It was inspiring to see you defeat Best as you overwhelmed him in the first game. Honestly, Best is such a macro beast. It's not easy to overpower an opponent like him. Your decision to pounce on the expansions at the 10 and 11 o'clock, right when his shuttles were at the 6 o'clock, you didn't miss the opportunity, and that's what got you the win. What would you say about that match? I just felt that if I tried to all in, I would lose, so I practiced late game macro. Practice went well, the results are good. Everything was good. The game against Jaedong, you unfortunately lost with the attempt to penetrate into his base with the Marines in the early game. Although you did manage to pull it off in the match against Queen, killing 3 drones. You've really shown today that you are not a player to be overlooked. Are you satisfied with your performance today, all in all? I'm about 70% happy with it. I'm still trembling, getting to play offline like this. I'm happy to feel this type of anxiousness again after a while, and I'm happy to win. You even showed off your signature 2 starport build. Why do you think the other players still get thrown off by it, even when they know it's coming? So way back, this 2-port was unstoppable even if you knew it was coming. Then it became defendable even though you didn't know about it. But I changed a few things, and I think it's once again becoming unstoppable even when scouted. You showed a cool ceremony on camera, having advanced into the round of 16 after 6 long years. You winked into the camera. What did that mean? I just remembered my ceremonies from back in the day. I was doing it before Son Heung-min started, before he started doing it, you know? I was first, but he's so famous now. Well, I guess it's his move. I'm sure many fans will be happy to get to see you perform your cool ceremonies. You also said you gained a lot of courage seeing piano yesterday. Are you still thinking about that? We're all getting old now, you know? We're all getting old, so it doesn't matter who advances. But then I saw him moving on, and I thought to myself, hey, do I also have a chance? I thought about it a lot, and wow, I advanced. This season, in the round of 16, we have 9 Terran players, and you, Leta, are one of them. As a Terran, do you feel determined that you have to show something? I've always felt confident in TVT because of that. I feel that if I end up going into a group with many Terrans, I might have a shot at advancing even further. Season 21 is one of many expectations for you then, Leta. Would you please address your colleagues and the fans to wrap things up? My colleagues kept saying, have a good funeral, rest in peace. This is your end, this is the last time you qualified at all. I'm so happy they showed up in droves like this. I think maybe I was able to win thanks to their support. And our university team boss, Jungman, he will be watching this online, so thanks to him too. And I'm always thankful to my girlfriend. I love you. And my fans, they kept saying, Leta, when will we get to see you? Thank you so much. Thank you. Once again, Leta, congratulations on making the round of 16. We'll see you at the group selection ceremony. Yes, thank you. We've just heard from Leta, the final player joining the round of 16 this season.
So cool to see how happy he is, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Leta, dude. He did it. We've got a lot of cool upsets that happen here in the round of 24. It's going to make for a very, very interesting round of 16. And a lot of these guys are going to get picked right away in that group selection process.
Yeah, it's the juiciest, like low-tier set of players ever making it to the round of 16, I think. This is probably the most upsets that we've ever had in that first round. It's crazy that Best and Queen both will not be advancing. They're such staples of the round of 16. And to have so many kind of new faces in there. Look at this. 3-4-9. This might be one of the most like imbalance that we've seen. I feel like there was one season where we had like 2 Protosses in the round of 16, and that was maybe the only season that was worse. But like, this is crazy. But looking at it, like Soma, Hero, Jaedong, Snow, Bisu, Rain are all actual contenders for this tournament. And on the Terran side, it's like, yeah, Flash, Light, Royal, maybe. So, like, I feel like, you know, we have a lot of Terrans there, but a lot of them are going to get culled in this next round.
Yeah, this is a crazy looking round of 16. But yeah, I think the Terran culling is coming.
Yes.
You know, I mean, who knows? I don't know. Maybe Oregon and Leta are moving on again. I mean, that would be another story to talk about, but I think we're going to have a decent number of TVTs here in the round of 16 again.
Yeah.
My bet is that the round of 8 is going to have your usual suspects and some kind of golden ratio going on there. You know, I mean, Soma, Hero, Jaedong, that's so strong for Zerg. I don't think any of them are going to get eliminated in the round of 16.
No, I don't think so.
Snow, Bisu, and Rain, I think it's the same story. Tulbo, best of luck, and I would welcome him into the round of 8 if he got that far.
Yeah.
And then for the Terrans, I mean, we'll see what happens. Here's our schedule. Now, don't be confused. This is not the schedule for our broadcast. We record our stuff 24 hours later, and then it's almost immediately after played on our SOOP channels.
Yeah.
So, our first release is usually on YouTube is usually by Thursday, and then the next one would be by Friday. But if you want to watch sooner, you can watch on our SOOP channels.
That's right.
Right, Artosis?
That is correct.
Tell them, Artosis.
And those will be posted on the Patreon, the VODs and everything. And it basically noon Eastern the next day is when every match goes live on our SOOP channels. If you want to watch it live, there's a little group of people that do watch and chat during the games, which is nice to see. So the group nomination is next week, guys. Soma, Snow, Bisu, Barracks will be the group leaders, and Soma, of course, will have that final pick where he can swap anyone from any group to any other group other than the seeds. It'll be fun. We'll have that translated. That takes several days for our translator to do, but we'll get it up as soon as possible.
Ziggy's going to be hard at work on that. So that's not going to be out immediately after it happens because he goes over every line and very carefully translates it to be comprehensible as possible, right? We used to do live simul translations. We've put a lot more work into having this kind of come out in a way that's very clean, that's very easy to understand if you don't speak any Korean. I think Ziggy does a great job. But that takes a while. So that'll be out right before the round of 16 starts. The sooner we can get it out, the sooner we will. But it takes Ziggy a while.
Indeed.
And just as a reminder, guys, join the Patreon. Even if you can't pay, we get your email and we can notify you and you can find the matches when they're released before YouTube. You do not have to pay to get access to that.
That's right.
If you pay, you are getting access to the Tastosis Secret Podcast. And you're supporting us, which makes you a better person. So there's that too.
There you go. That's it. Definitely
if you're
do check
supporting
that
us
out.
Financially, you do go to heaven when you die. So there is that.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Even though Tastosis is a Protoss player, it's weird. It's like I'm not sure how that works, but God works in mysterious ways.
I at least don't go to hell. I stay in purgatory for a while longer and have to figure it out there.
Well, that's where I've been for 28 years of playing Terran.
That's where I've been on the ladder for sure, man. B rank purgatory forever.
Well, with how well those Terrans are going, I think I'm going to have to try for ASL next season, Tasteless. My God. This has been great. It's been a great round of 24. So, of course, you guys won't see us on ASL for an additional week until that round of 16 starts, but that should be fantastic. Make sure you keep your eyes tuned to the Patreon and YouTube and SOOP and everything for that group selection.
We love you guys. Thank you for watching us. We will see you in about 2 weeks. Bye-bye.